Yeah, hey, how are you doing? I'm having a great day. My second extra spectacular day. Um, for me, pretty much the whole of fall, starting in September, was just a really sort of scary nightmare with um, juice fasting, um, doing the blended fast thing for such a long time. Um, just what happened with the colon, and it's all seemed like natural sort of detoxing type of stuff. And as I came to be aware of with the session with my psychic, my problems with my colon was completely emotional, just from baggage, from sadness, from stuff that happened here in my house in 2011. And so, been a little bit obsessed with Star Wars, watching it while I'm rebounding. Um, that would be Episode One, Phantom Menace, and specifically Attack of the Clones, Episode Two. And this is, for me, a quote which I have to apply to 2011 for myself. This is um, in Episode 2, Attack of the Clones, Padme talking to Anakin Skywalker. Um, I believe I'm exactly quoting this. She says to him, "Sometimes your greatest gift is disguised as your worst nightmare." And for me, with where I've been through, this whole thing with what happened with my colonic, I mean my colon, um, definitely my worst nightmare ever. I mean, aside from uh, being in the hospital with full blown AIDS, and I got through that, and it definitely kicked me in the ass in the sense of that I really wanted to break through a lot of my own personal sort of holdbacks that was keeping me from a very pure, true focus on stuff. Um, and I'm through it now. This is my second day. Haven't been drinking coffee. A few days now of not having caffeine withdrawal, um, which means that I'm gonna be able to be purely alkaline now. That's for me. That's been probably the last hold for me. Is and again, I have this virus in me that's like I need to beat, and so it's really no excuses. But there's this whole thing of acquiring better health. You kind of got to you don't kind of you definitely have to be really nice to yourself, And so I'm a sort of very cathartic person myself, explosive, and like probably going into this fast and stuff I did was not the best idea. And I do realize now in hindsight that as I started eating a little bit of meat and being a vegan, it was just a band-aid, and it eventually exploded again. This whole malnutrition thing that I wound up at. A lot of people are winding up at with much shorter time period than me. For me, it was, where is it now? 27 years, of doing this, and obviously in my case, and perhaps some other people's case as well. I have a lot better prenatal gene, and so that's why I was able to get away with it. Some people, like Daniel Vitalis, said he could only get away with it for 5 years. So, anyway, so I want to talk about some herbs that have been a big help for me. That's Bupleurum and Dragonbone, and Willpower. Both from Dragon Herbs. Bupleurum and Dragonbone you can get from Jing Herbs as well. Although the Dragon Herbs is much cheaper. It's only $18 a bottle. And these are both considered Shen herbs. In the case of Bupleurum Dragonbone, I would call that a Shen stabilizer if it's kind of, it's good to use when things are really, really, really bad. Relationship fallout, which I used that when my relationship was coming apart. I took therapeutic dosages of it, and I've used Bupleurum Dragonbone a lot. The thing is, you've got to take a break from Bupleurum and Dragonbone because it's not a tonic. So, Willpower is great from finding the will within, and in my opinion, Bupleurum and Dragonbone is really good for sort of not caring about the stuff on the outside or becoming detached, the things that affect you. And it has a deeper use. It helps with the liver and stuff like that. But I find these two herbs very powerful. And if you wanted to add on something else on there, and the Shen really, really, I'm not saying that I've ever not thought it was important, but yeah, for me, I've been taking a lot of Shen herbs, a lot of pearl. And so that pearl is a good one to add on to there. So I need to move along. I want this to be a short video, which it's probably not. I don't really understand why people can do such nice 6-minute videos loaded with information, and mine are just freaking forever 15 minutes. I just ate a probiotic soup when I first got up this morning. This is my version of this. I learned it from Truth. And of course, as with everything with him, you know, a month, the list is intense, you know, with the stuff. And I just tend to go right for the sort of the jugular. So in a bowl, BioK Plus, and that's sort of puddingy, goopy kind of stuff. And then a whole entire bottle of Ethical Nutrition Intestinal Care. With the FOS has a slight sweet, like sort of breakfast cereal taste to it. The whole bottle, all at once, and that's usually 60 doses in there. So I love this, doing these big therapeutic dosages of probiotics. I've done this a few times. My first time I did it with Truth. So in my version of that, into that, I add a couple drops of stevia, some astragalus, some lycium, goji berry, and both of those are extract powders from Jing Herbs. Stir it up, and that's a nice little breakfast pudding. So, anyways, and then yesterday I went to LA to catch up with my friend Laura, who is also sort of in the little tonic bar Jing Master tribe there. Went and saw her. She's in the sort of the industry there. She works on a show called Cougar Town, and she's probably one of my best friends, easily. Met her at a David Wolf event long time ago when they were called the Best Weekend Ever, and of course back then, in my personal opinion, because I am not fond of these longevity of now events. They just seem like they're too sensational, too like just yuppie fake bullshit to me. I mean, good information there. I just don't like the essence of the events. And that's going to be a video somewhere. I've been wanting to talk about this because you will never see me at a longevity event again unless something drastically changed about the way they present those. Anyways, and so I went to LA, met my friend Laura. We went down to the tonic bar, had some great tea made by Jay Denman. By the way, this guy is, in my opinion, is one of the best people with just like variations of combinations of taste with doing teas and ice creams and stuff like that. And I had a great drink, and Laura goes there all the time. So, and then we went off and had some dinner, and usually we go to a raw food restaurant, which I didn't want to do this time, or I didn't, you know, we usually go to SunPower, which is probably one of the best, cheapest, most flavorful restaurants, with a nice big full plate of food for what you pay. We decided to go to Whole Foods since it was Wednesday, and Whole Foods always has fresh, raw, organic, grass-fed liver. And so we ate raw liver, went back to Laura's house, and just had roughly shared a pound of liver between us, raw. And I know I said I wasn't going to eat raw meat, or I said I don't, and I just, you know, I definitely will not eat raw liver cooked. I don't like it cooked. It tastes horrible to me. Love it raw, though. Absolutely, and had some salad with it. Of course, I had bought a second one of these when I was down there, and I gulped that down before I ate, just with the sake of eating the raw liver and all of that kind of stuff. And I am drifting back to eating more raw vegetables. My carnivore period is sort of over. I feel like I've busted through. I'm doing well. So yeah, that's about it. Musical selection is Jonsi, Jonsi, lead singer from Sigur Ros. The band Sigur Ros right now is on hiatus um, because the other members of the band are out having babies. And Jonsi is openly gay, and his boyfriend Alex is actually in his band and helps him produce his solo albums. And another great thing about Jonsi and Alex is they're both raw vegan, and you can actually find. I posted this up a year ago, so I don't even know if I have the same. I know I have a lot of the same people, but this is a bit of a repeat. But I introduced this song to Laura last night, and I hadn't heard it in a while. And it's a really beautiful song. And by the way, Jonsi sings in a falsetto, and it's kind of a love-hate thing. So if you hate it, I'm sorry. If you love it, you're gonna just be blown away by this music. The song is Sinking Friendships. It's a live version. It's an awesome live version because it's them with their stage set that they toured around the world with, which is probably one of the most awesome stage sets I've ever seen on tour. You've used to see these things at like sort of installations, but this is the best. And I will go ahead and throw in links as well to Jonsi and Alex doing some raw vegan recipes. I think they sort of they've always been vegan or vegan, and then they just recently became raw. So, anyways, and this is not a big shout out for that. And by the way, this is post rock, the same as like Godspeed You Black Emperor, and I am not a big fan of rock at all, but I am a huge fan of post rock. So, this is Keith saying goodbye, and I'm going to do a best of 2011 in the next day or two, and then I'm going to catch up on my inbox, and while I'm doing that, you won't see me for a while. So, make it the best year. I'm still having the best year. In fact, each day for the last, like, probably 14 days has been successively better. All right, then. Later.